You will never catch me yelling Leroy Jenkins. It will not happen. It's just I don't.
I'm gonna make that my new goal to make you yell that.
That's kind of weird. Funny because like the only reason
I've done it at home like 6 times.
Can you edit that out? That's pretty weird.
No, that's gonna be our new drop.
Hello?
Hi.
I haven't decided yet whether I like any of like the introductory like podcast. It feels weird to talk to no one. Like that moment where you're like, hey, thank you for listening to the Covalence podcast. And then try to have a conversation with the people that are actually in the room. It makes you feel somewhat schizophrenic.
Like, since I have no problem with that, do you want me to do it?
First, I'm going to talk to people that are not in this room, and then I'm going to switch gears and talk to the people that are in this room. Anyways, I had this idea. Speaking of schizophrenic behavior.
Okay.
You know how, like, when you go to purchase, like, a pair of pants that are, like, over $100, they usually come with, like, a free sizing. Like, they're all way too long.
Yeah, you get them tailored.
You get them tailored, yeah.
We're talking like dress pants or like Levi's?
Even jeans. Like Nordstrom's has free tailoring.
Yeah. Nordstrom's definitely...
I never use it. I always go to my own tailor.
Really?
It's free.
I don't care because I trust my guy.
Yeah, but if they mess up the pants, you're going to get a new pair and they're going to get another shot.
Yeah, but my guy's not going to mess them up. He's going to do exactly what I want.
How many times have you been burned by Nordstrom's on your pants?
None. A tailor is one of a tailor, a butcher, a barber. These are the key people you need in your life that you trust, and you don't just say, oh yeah, go hem them, whatever. I don't know. You say, look, I need this. I need it narrowed a little bit. I need cut to this length.
Do you have them like embroider like leet on the inside of the cuff?
No,
that only you can see. It's just special for you.
No. It's in very tiny stitching. He's got, if you can read this, you're sucking my dick. That's.
Wait, does he really do that?
No.
Oh, fuck, man. I'm about to say, hook me up. Dude. That's hilarious.
No, he's a damn good tailor. I did a little homework. and
you know, like Lucky's?
No, I don't.
That's how you know it's there.
The jean pants, Lucky's?
He's Russian.
Yeah.
He's Russian.
Oh, so he's pissed all the time for no reason.
Oh, yeah.
Angry
Awesome.
blowjob.
Hell yeah. Just to suck that dick, you little bitch.
You say that like you've heard it before. Anyway, expensive
I like
pants.
to do a Russian accent. It makes us think so.
I always did appreciate the for Lucky's the jean brand, like on the zipper when you fold it open, it says "Lucky You."
Yeah,
on the inside.
That's pretty cool.
A kick out of that.
Is it so you can read it when you're standing up and you do that, or is it so somebody facing you can see that?
Either.
Yeah, I think you can read it facing any direction.
Well, I mean, it
just says "Lucky You." It's not like looking through a mirror. It's not going to be like flipped backwards.
See, I'd want it written so the person facing me unzipping could see that.
That's right. I have a tattoo like right on top of my dick that says "Lucky You Too," just in case they missed the first one on the pants.
In like 0.3.
No, it's that glow in the dark ink. You have to have a black light in the room for it to see.
It only works in your rape dungeon.
I go over to the closet, and I go, look, come over here, stand by the light. Look, see?
Oh, that's how you get. That's how you like. It's that awkward transition. That's how you're like, introduce. I got something to show you. Bing, it's already out. Fuck, why not?
Hey, do you like black lights?
So what about the pants?
Awesome?
I want to hear about the pants. What's a good idea?
I think that they should offer a cell phone sizing for the pocket. So you hold your pocket, you hold your phone, whatever size you are, to your pocket, and then they mark it, and then they sew in a bigger or smaller pocket for your cell phone. Because I'm tired of having this. I got this iPhone 6 Plus, and you can't like sit down with it. And one of the problems I constantly have is like every month I have to buy a new pair of like $20 Skull Candy headphones because the wire gets bent. It's like stabbing me. In my appendix, wherever that is.
Why don't you just get
like
some
nowhere
Bluetooth
near your
headphones?
I had Bluetooth headphones, and my girlfriend stole them. And they're all right. I mean, I like them, but the batteries don't last that long.
No, they really don't.
And they're kind of a bitch to just keep recharging They last about 3 or 4 hours, and you got to be like on the spot, making sure like you're. It's like a secret handshake. You know, there's like, you got they're wireless. They have no visual feedback like at all. So you like press a button, then you hold another button, then you point one finger to the west, and you hold it for three seconds, and then it goes headphones on.
See, right. The buds I have, you pull them out of the little case. The case is a charger, and you put them in, and you turn on Bluetooth, and it's like, oh, there they are. That's it. Done. There's no button. There's no anything.
Do you have the ones that are connected to each other and they wrap around the back of the head?
No, they're totally wireless. It's one bud in one ear.
Like almost like a oversized enema pill that you just stick into your ear hole.
It's like a shitty hearing aid is what it looks like.
Yeah, super shitty hearing aid.
Twice now I've been accused of being deaf when I pulled those out. They were like, "Oh, I thought you were deaf." One person actually got mad.
Like what?
How dare you try to hear, sir?
And then she realized I wasn't. And she was like, like I deceived her in some way. I'm like, well, I can't help it.
Well, okay. What's the battery life on those? Because if you're sitting down, like if I'm working or if you're playing a game, and like if you're playing like StarCraft or Warcraft or whatever, you want a marathon for like 5-6 hours.
Yeah,
like,
you're not going to do that.
What's the battery life on it?
You get about 2.5, 3 hours.
2.5. That's it. Jesus Christ.
Well, I only wear them like when I'm running or if I'm going up the street for something, stuff like that.
Pokemon hunting.
I can't wear them when I'm Pokemon
your phone's
hunting.
only lasts a half hour anyway.
I tried that. Yeah, I tried. I fired up Pokemon Go. I was going around doing my Pokestop run locally and had music going. As soon as I fired up Pokemon Go, music cut off. I was like, motherfucker. And it pissed me off.
That's because you got one of those janky 3+2 divided by 7 phones.
No.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Yeah. I got 4 gig of RAM in this thing. I got more RAM than all your phones combined.
But you can't listen to
shitty
music.
coding.
Can you?
Sorry, yeah.
I can definitely. I listen to podcasts when I pull out that piece of shit game, Pokemon Go.
See, I'm guessing it's probably because it's Android. Because you all have iPhones.
Rob, you like to run.
Yeah.
Do you listen to something while you're running?
Yes. Well, actually, it depends. Most of the time, I don't.
Really?
Yeah.
But do you bring your phone?
Yeah.
And your phone's just like, because
jangling around.
Yeah, that's the worst feeling ever. I hate that having that thing just swinging around.
That's why I usually hold it. I feel like I'm running like the relay race. I have the baton. I'm ready to go hand it off to somebody.
Like,
yeah. Okay, but so then I don't like the wire. Like when I'm running, like basically bitch slapping me, like a horse, trying to run faster. The cord's
that's
like
why
whipping
I don't
me.
do it.
So that's where, to me, the wireless headphones are perfect. But the phone's so big, and I don't wear like super tight spandex pants or anything. I'm wearing like loose like basketball shorts, and that's the worst type of like material for the phone to be jostling around. So even though it's wireless,
it can go a little too far center.
It's like having a separate dick and it just flopping around on the side, dude. It's so gnarly.
Genetic mutation.
Well, have you thought about
an amazing gift from God?
I used to do those, but the one that then I upgraded to basically the mini tablet for a phone,
and those don't fit anymore.
Yeah, the old ones don't fit. You got to get a new one, but then I feel like I'm wearing a riot shield, on my arm,
which is kind of cool. It's like. It's like Crisis 4.
But then, see, the other thing is, like, they always have those plastic sheet things, and it's hard to get to the phone. And if somebody like texts me,
why is it on your bicep? Why is it not on your forearm?
Dude, it'd be way better, like
it needs to be like
style.
Quarterback,
fucking, like Predator style.
You've seen the thing where it projects on your forearm, haven't you? Where you the little bracelet.
But you can't do
that.
Like
click it, and it goes, and it has your phone screen right there, and it still picks up where you're touching it.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah.
Does it work when you're sweating though? That's the thing.
Yeah. No. What it is it's like it's a camera that picks up where you're touching, like seeing it instead of feeling it. It doesn't pick up the touch on your arm. It picks up where you're touching.
So okay. So where's your phone at then?
In your pocket or whatever.
But it's still jostling around. It doesn't solve.
Well, I mean,
the problem.
he could strap it to you. He could strap it around his back if you want.
I'll tell you. So
stick it up his ass. I don't care.
For me, the ultimate solution was at my gym. I put my phone in the locker, and the Bluetooth can reach the whole gym.
Sure.
And then I can but again, I'm not changing anything. I got to set it, set play, and I'm just...
You're at the mercy
I'm at the mercy of whatever it is.
It's called make a playlist.
No, I just put on a podcast that's like longer than, I'm not going to work out for 2 hours, that's for sure.
Did you see the new bracelets? Speaking of Pokemon Go and wearables, the new bracelets for Pokemon Go?
No.
Did you guys see those?
What's it do?
They're not out yet, or pre-ordered it and it sold out. I think they're like $35.
It's not bad.
It looks like a little Pokeball with a arrow.
Oh, like the Google "You Are Here" thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
No, it sounds like the "I'm with her" logo.
I'm with her.
You haven't seen that?
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Moving on.
So anyway, what's it do?
So you can have the phone in your pocket, and when you go by a Pokestop or there's a Pokemon, it'll vibrate, and you can just hit the button and pick up the Pokestop without taking your phone out.
But you have to leave the app running on your phone.
I think so.
Well, then you need to. Does it come with a car battery? Because you need that. Everybody laughs because it's true. Your phone
dude. Like when we walked out there, it was 100% in an hour and a half, all the way down to 20.
Did you guys go to the meetup?
Brains. Huh?
We didn't go to the meetup. No,
okay.
I didn't. No, but
you just went hunting together.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Poke hunting. Yeah, Pokehontas. I have this friend that just plays video games for other people for a living.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he levels characters in all these different games.
Is he Chinese?
No.
Oh.
He plays like The Division. People that don't want to grind, basically.
Yeah.
So they sell packages. So it's like $50, we get you from 0 to level 20, right? And then they don't choose any of the stats. They leave all the stuff open. They just grind your character.
Yeah.
And then I asked him, I was like, hey, are you playing Pokemon? He's like, not for me, but I'm playing it for other people. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah. I'm like, how the fuck
does he walk around with
walking around? I'm like,
something?
that's fucking ridiculous, dude. And no, dude, it's so I downloaded it, and you just buy a emulator, right? A cell phone app emulator.
And you hack the GPS.
Yeah, no, you just sign into your own account. You literally just open up your thing, sign into your account. You pick where you want your GPS to be, and then you just press forward on the keyboard, and your little dude starts walking, and he just walks at the full 15 miles per hour, and you just click, 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 click. I probably went 2 levels in 20 or 30 minutes just on there.
Wow.
They said they're going to start, or they've been looking for people that do that, and they're going to start banning them.
Yeah, that's what he told me. He's like, don't jump.
It's not going to last for very long.
He's like, don't jump around, because they if they see you playing in Singapore, and then 2 hours later you're in Paris, and then 2 hours later you're in New York. They've already been banned. They've already had a couple of characters banned, and then he's like, then there's the shadow ban where they don't tell you, and he's like, and it's weird because apparently as soon as a Pokemon pop up, they run away from you.
Oh yeah.
He's like, that's your warning, that you're doing something wrong, and I was like, what? That's just bizarre and weird. But I don't know. I've just decided that for me the game's shitty. It's just I don't see the fun in it. It's because it's not my type of video game.
You don't like scavenger hunts?
No.
What?
No, I don't like scavenger hunts.
And just said this is stupid.
And I don't like playing games by myself anymore. I don't ever sit down and play campaigns. I just feel like Pokemon is just. I understand there's a bunch of stuff coming. Whatever. Yeah, I'm really depressed, man. I mean, I had a lot of hopes and dreams built into this. It was it's like somebody came into the hospital room and told me that I'd been cured of cancer, and then they just took it all away from me.
That's what Pokemon feels like.
You need the interaction though. You need them you need to be able to trade stuff with people and do that.
Yeah, I feel ashamed. Now when I pull out my phone, I'm like, no, I'm really just texting. I'm just texting.
Using my phone. I'm not playing a game.
I'm looking at porn, I swear. I'm just a regular person. Don't judge me.
So wait, why don't you go out with other people then to do? If you need the interaction, why don't you just go with a meetup group or something then?
I thought that's what this was.
Well, yeah, but I mean for the game though, because that's what it is. Just that you can't interact with other people.
No, I just find the game incredibly boring. I don't like grinding, right? I don't like the grind of games.
I'm with you.
That doesn't appeal to me.
I only like the grind if there's a story or there's something behind it. With Pokemon, there's not. It's catch this.
I'm too used to playing Call of Duty and Overwatch and really fast games where I'm shooting people and I'm working together and trying to coordinate with somebody. I don't know, talking to my team, over all the headphones and figuring out the plays and what we're going to do and how we're going to strategize this particular map or board, choosing all the characters. Pokemon's just you're walking, and I was only doing it just when I literally had nothing else to do, like walking the block and a half to my car, and then going. I was at Underbelly, and somebody dropped one of those lures, and we're just like eating top ramen or whatever. Depression food, basically, is what I call it.
Because of Pokemon, that's why.
No, well, I'm there just playing Pokemon because the thing's there. But then, as I'm catching, I'm just like, this doesn't like feel fun or rewarding, like to me. I don't know.
Are you Go ahead.
I don't think.
I guess the game's still in beta, so
Yeah,
we're not
it's
even
still
playing the game.
Yeah, which is insane.
The grind doesn't bother me, but I wonder how long it'll last when all you start catching are the same Pokemon over and over again.
Pretty much.
You can only catch so many Pidgeys before you get tired of catching Pidgeys.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, fuck you, Pidgeotty. Seriously. Somebody bring in a leopard and just get rid of all these fucking Pidgeottys. Like, we need, like...
Pidgey?
Yeah,
it's just like, whenever you say it wrong, I'm like, tick, 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 fuck. It's a Pidgey.
Neil deGrasse.
It's pronounced DeGrasse.
I just hear that his comedian friend introduced him on Star Talk Radio as Degrassi all the time, so that's why
he's wrong too.
He maybe just his New York accent or whatever. So that's where I always pick that up from. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not in on it.
If I'm like halfway in between. Like, I still like the game, I still like playing it, and it's still cool to catch things, but. Yeah, after a while, it's going to get old of catching the same ones over and over and over
I feel like this is actually going to get swooped up on and just blown out by somebody else because, first of all, the stock now is like gone up like $20 billion or something
Nintendo's?
insane. Yeah, Nintendo's.
Yeah.
Like, people are
Today
just
they
jumping
said they were
on this
valued
bandwagon.
more than PlayStation.
Yeah, more than Sony.
This is out of control. The hype train on
Pokemon
Pokemon is out of control.
And Nintendo only does video games. Sony does a whole bunch of other shit, and Nintendo's stock grows higher. That's fucking crazy. And Nintendo's not even fully behind it. They're just like a third party of Niantic.
They just
who
have
made
the
the game.
license. They have they've licensed the Pokemon name and franchise out to this company. And you know what the worst part is? Mm-hmm. It's the same as Ingress. Did anybody ever see Ingress?
No, but I did see it as I was looking up Pokemon, and I realized what this was. And then I saw another genius post on Reddit where they're like, "Oh, cool. Well, when does Grand Theft Auto AR mode come in?" Right? Just where you like look at it, and it's like hijack this car, and like
because somebody will actually really hijack that car.
Fun.
Yeah.
Well, imagine that you could, if you wanted to, just like it says, you got to rob a car, right? Yeah, and then you just go up to it instead of doing your Pokeball swipe, you whatever, do a little hack thing on the car, and you're like, cool, I stole this car, right?
Like there's a lock picking mini game or something you have to play.
I'm just saying, like, I feel like Pokemon is going to be somebody else is going to come in because it's not. Again, for me. And some of my friends that are more like the hardcore gamers, obviously like the guy who's like literally playing games for other people, there's something's going to come in. Something else is going to use the same AR because now they've demonstrated that people can get into AR, and now it's in the ether of how AR kind of works. So the barrier of explaining stuff, just what was that game that you just mentioned?
Ingress.
That's how they had all the points because all those points were for that game.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the same. Like the Pokestops are the same points.
Well, that's how they made the game.
The same company.
That's literally
they just use the same platform.
Yeah, they just skinned it. That's
well,
all they did.
What they did
no one had ever heard of the other game.
Yeah, and like everybody's heard of Pokemon, and they tapped into something that's been a franchise since 1995 is what we said last time. Yeah. So like of course it's going to go up, and since people have seen that you can take a big franchise and attach it onto AR. It does work because I think that's what it was before. Even Nintendo or anything didn't even they didn't try it because everybody was gun shy about like AR is it really work? I don't know. Now that everybody has seen Nintendo's done it, like Rockstar will probably do it. Blizzard will try their hands at it. The people who make Candy Crush are definitely going to try it because they're getting their asses handed to them at the mobile market.
Of course, because now people understand that these lure stops, these Pokestops, whatever, right? Like Chad said, skin it with whatever the fuck you want, and people realize that there's a way to market this shit, right? Like I was listening to something and they were like, Pokemon downloads are like superseded like pretty much every social media app that there is blown out Twitter, blown out Instagram. It's caught up or surpassed Snapchat.
Really?
Yeah. And the thing about all of those platforms is they struggle with how to make money. They have no idea how to make money. Twitter still is trying to figure out how the hell to generate revenue.
Well, you saw the Reddit post where the guy, he has a coffee shop that is a Pokestop.
Yeah, and he said he constantly drops lures there.
He's
and
buying lures and dropping them there, and his business has doubled. Mm-hmm. Talk about the most profitable fucking marketing you could ever come up with.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. There's a driving force now because they can say it's like a 1-2. If we make a popular AR game, we're going to get sales from the users and sales from the businesses that want those users.
Sure.
Right? So now there's massive amounts of momentum for people to develop this type of game.
See, I think too with Pokemon, I think a way that it stays or it gets a little bit more longevity is they open up trading with other players, and that's something they're working on, and also work on battling with other players. Because if I can go battle you, that makes me have a lot more incentive to go out and do more stuff than just go battle a gym or go hunting.
Because then you can actually set up the actual Pokemon tournaments. You can actually you can have people meet up, and then the best out of that, and the best of San Diego versus the best of LA or whatever. You can literally do that now.
Yeah.
I think with the whole AR thing is that they need to find something that's on level with Pokemon, because as we've seen before, you can have the whole concept, but if you don't have the franchise behind it and the general public knowledge of something, it's not enough. You need something that pushes it above. So I don't know what else is on level.
Because how cool was it to say you can go outside? Sorry guys, I have to go outside and catch a
I saw Onyx in the middle of the fucking street yesterday. I was like,
Grand Theft Auto is going to be way more legit because it's going to say you want to go rob a bank, right? So then you go run over to Wells Fargo. You hold the phone up, right? You hold the phone up in front of Wells Fargo, and you hit Rob, right? And then
you hit Rob because he's with you.
You hit Rob, and then it's gonna say, okay, the cops are on the way. Run the fuck away from there, and you got to sprint your ass away from that bank. Physically run your ass away to within a period of time. You got to clear a distance, or else you get arrested or something like that. I could see the Grand Theft Auto franchise just going nuts.
See, that's the reason why I don't think it'll work, because the fun of Grand Theft Auto is running from the cops or shooting other things, other gangs or other stuff like that. And I don't think the phone will be a good substitute for that.
No, when you guys were talking,
you could do stuff.
Yeah.
Mario Kart would be excellent for this.
You talked about this when I wasn't here. You said the Gear VR is perfect because the Gear VR is $69 now. Mm-hmm. You slap in any basically Google phone in there, and you look through the camera. So now you don't have to hold shit in your hands, and all the buttons are right here, right on the side of your headset.
See, I think Google Glass or something like that will be better, and I think
something where you can see what's actually in front of you.
Because part of the fun of Pokemon 2 is that you get to see it out in the real world through your camera. If you had glasses on, it would make it even cooler.
See, I don't even have the AR thing turned on.
I turned mine off because I could catch them easier.
Yeah, the only thing that the game utilizes AR-wise is the actual map of the world I'm in. That's it.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. You have the AR, but it's it's on my dinner table. Oh, it's on my fucking nutsack. Oh, it's on, it doesn't
it's on your cat's butthole.
It doesn't actually map anywhere onto it. It's just floating there. It doesn't ever look like it's in the space through the phone. And the app
sometimes
is
it does.
super
It does.
shitty.
It does
Some of the
sometimes.
pictures I've seen have been pretty fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, because it's fucking. It's like the fat chick that arranges the camera in the perfect angle, looking down at her as she holds it up, and takes the perfect fucking picture. You could arrange the Pokemon to look on the ground, the staged shots. But usually when I'm playing it, it's in my car driving at 25 miles an hour.
Well, that's why it doesn't look like it's on. If you go out to the park, it'll be on a curb. Or be on the sidewalk.
If you're laying in the grass, it looks like a Diglett actually came out of the ground. You're like, oh shit.
I don't know. To me, I didn't see that when I was over at Morley Field playing for 2 hours with my nephew. I ended up getting out there super late. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I think
super bored. And it freezes all the fucking time.
I think with
it's a shit app.
It's a shitty app.
Yeah, it's because the servers are overloaded too. The app's not the best.
If it wasn't Pokemon, people would be like, "This is dog shit."
Exactly. So and that's where you're getting hung up on is that you're like, oh, the app sucks, blah blah. But what it is anybody who played the first couple of generations is like, it'd be really cool if you could walk outside and go catch one. And with that simple concept of like, oh, I can walk outside and there's a Pidgey. Bam, that's mine now. That's just, it brings that to reality. Even though it's like, it crashes all the time, which it does. And it
literally crashes
really
like every 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, but
it's getting a lot better. Mine doesn't crash.
Mine's a lot better too. But it taps into something much deeper than just, the superficial, like, oh, technology. It's like you can go out, you can find something.
I'm saying it's a gimmick
that's
it's
lasted
3D
since
televisions.
1995. It's not
the
AR.
Lore has. Lore has.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I went back to what I was saying. Is it's not AR that took off. It's Pokemon plus AR. Is what it is.
Yeah,
so
I
if
feel like
anything
the
else,
AR thing is completely gimmicky, and most people are just turning that shit off. They're just playing the Pokemon
Yeah.
game. Honestly,
but it's not even just about looking at them through your phone. It's about actually going out and going somewhere to
I
get
bet
them.
you if they actually just took one of the old school Pokemon games and just loaded that bitch up into the App Store and you just downloaded like Pokemon Blue on your phone, that shit would blow this out of the water.
I would too.
And people would go,
I wouldn't know
fuck
if
this
I
thing.
actually don't think it would.
It wouldn't blow it out of the
because
water.
This is more fun that you get to go out and do it with other people.
Yeah.
It makes it more real, quote unquote, because you have to actually be like Ash and run around and go find him.
And you can see people on bikes, and you're like, shit, it's just like in the game. People riding around on bikes back and forth.
I bet if they just did a standalone game that had all the same battle features and trading.
Well, they do. They still come out with games. They're coming out with 2 new
Sun and Moon.
Yeah, Sun and Moon in a couple of months.
Yeah,
a standalone game.
There's a Mankey right
for the
now
phones.
you can get if you want.
No, for
DS.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Do you know how many people love Pokemon but aren't going to waste their money on the fucking DS system? Because it's like, this is why Nintendo has been failing. Because it's exclusive to their games and there's not enough good titles. So not enough people ever bought the Nintendo
There's 2 Pikachus
consoles
right here nearby.
Those are Sandshrews.
Right? When people if you have
right.
enough money to buy like one console or 2, you're basically getting Xbox or PlayStation or Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah, I actually have a DS and it's actually pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Like the 3D on it without having to wear 3D glasses is pretty cool.
It's cool, but I don't see I don't you're the first person I know that has one. And I hang out with people that play a lot of video games. Again, it's a different, like, the more hardcore video game people.
It's more geared for a younger market.
If we just
and
picked
Pokemon
a house,
is more geared for a younger market.
Nintendo's
also.
a younger market
just
too.
Nintendo. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The reason that this Pokemon thing is so huge is because it's on devices that everybody has.
Yeah.
Literally, there's no barrier, right? There's no barrier to entry. If they just put those games on the phone, they'd be just as big. I think it would be just as big.
No.
I don't think it would. I think it would be popular for sure.
It would make a lot of money, but it wouldn't have the same. It wouldn't have the same. Like,
okay, I'm going to say
social impact. Because you can't.
I'm going to say
take
6 months to 8 months from now, this game is going to be like, nah, just only little kids playing it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
just like how Angry Birds was the same way too. Everybody played Angry Birds when it first came out, and then
I never
became
played
entirely. But you've heard of it though, right?
I heard of it, but I felt like
Angry Birds was cool.
Yeah, I like
Angry Birds.
They made a movie out of it.
Like,
I'm not ever going to see that.
Angry Birds lasted more than 6 months. It was like for a couple of years.
And again, Pokemon's lasted longer than just.
No, I'm talking about Pokemon Go.
Okay, but then if you're
talking
talk about
you're saying like, oh, Star Wars.
franchise.
Every Star Wars game has been amazing because Star Wars has existed from
Most Star Wars games have been pretty sweet.
most Star Wars games.
Yeah, actually.
But
Even
people
like
don't
the
play
old
the
school
same
ones in the
game.
90s were
Nobody's
cool.
playing that same
another
Star
thing too
Wars
is this
game.
isn't even your category of games. Your
No, for
category
sure
of
it's
games
not.
is totally so. It's like your opinion on it's already skewed. You know what I mean?
It's completely skewed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
This
good
is,
games.
This is what's happening now.
No, you like games that
So
are like
many-
shooters. You like, and you
so
don't like the
many
grind too,
people
which
play
like a lot of the
games.
things
no,
that
I
you
just
like
like
about
cooperative games.
So many
You
people
ha-
play video games nowadays, though. You get this fracture of it's the type of game you play. That's now happening. You've got casual gamers who pick up their phones and can walk around and do whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then you've got people who are hardcore, or, well, let's say this. There's the casual gamer, then there's, for lack of a better term, the prosumer gamer, which is going to have a system.
Did you just make up that word, prosumer?
No, that's been around for a while.
I was going to say that's good.
No, it is good. No, they use that for digital cameras, actually.
Oh, okay.
The digital camera space where, like, somebody wanted something that they could interchange the lenses, but they didn't want to spend $10,000 a lens.
Continue your thought with the video game, though.
Yeah. But you have the prosumer where they get a console and they get all the bells and whistles with it, all the accessories, and they may have a computer built for a specific type of game. Then you have the hardcore gamer where they have 2 or 3 machines built for a specific game. And of course they've got the consoles. Of course they've got stuff on phones. But they do that as just a flippant thing. They are specifically driven by a particular type of game or a specific game. They are a World of Warcraft player, hardcore. They've got, 18 tunes that are all level 100. They've got, or they're CSGO and they do this, or they play Dota 2 and they've actually made money at it, even if it is only $50 because they bet their friend they could beat their ass. Anything like that.
But see, I think this game is the first kind of game of its kind where you actually have to go out, and I think it actually appeals to all that spectrum. It's the one that's
cashing in on a mass market.
It's not the first because, like you said,
Ingress
this shit already came out and died.
Well, Ingress never died. People are still playing Ingress. They're still playing it. The thing is there were games that took advantage of the space you're in way before, literally years before this came out. The thing is this is the one that cashes in on something. This is a name brand. It's like, did Levi's make the first denim jean? No. But they're the one that everybody knows. They're the ones that are going to go out there and they're going to get the money because of the name. This is something that people recognize. They recognize Pokemon, and it just so happens to fit the playability.
You could have done like a Knights of the Old Republic Star Wars version of this, and it would have blown up. You could have done... I think you could have done a Mario World, any type of that lore.
Because the premise of Pokemon is to go outside and catch things, and then that's what this is. You have to go out there.
It's very organic to actually go out and do it.
It's almost like Pokemon was designed for this to happen.
Well, you always wanted... Playing Pokemon, I always wanted to go outside and do it.
Always wanted to be able to do that, and now you can.
But the thing is Jeff still has a point, though, that there will be other games that will find a way to adapt the playability to the mobile space.
It's going to chisel away at this, and people are going to make better games, and then they're going to turn it.
I don't doubt this. Yeah. I think that the success of this is only going to accelerate all those plans and accelerate wearables for AR. Because this is shown that AR is popular enough that people would be in the market to buy something.
But there are 2 things that really cramp that. One, cost. Because, let's face it, who here has a less than $150 phone? Nobody. Not even me with my OnePlus 3x2 whatever.
Do you have to do math to figure out the price?
No.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That's the name of his phone.
It's the name of my phone. But no, that's the thing. Even I having the cheap phone, the inexpensive phone, it's still more than that price point. And that's going to be 1. 2 is going to be battery life. Because let's face it, we've all played Pokemon Go, right? What happens to your fucking battery?
Well, we all know.
For me, I just get bored. To me, I don't know what this battery issue is because maybe it's because I have a large phone that has a bigger battery in it. So
your battery is actually smaller than mine. My battery is.
I've never had any battery issues on it at all.
You just don't play hard enough.
But I don't, because literally, like after about an hour of it, I'm like, this is so boring.
And you notice no drop in your battery whatsoever.
Nah.
Yeah, you're not paying attention.
No, because I gave it to my nephew, and he ran around for, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half, catching stuff. Because I was I was kind of like, cool, level this shit up, because like I don't want to fucking do this.
You know what I think it says is that like the levels, like where it's where Pokemon Go attracts the level of gamer. Because I'm like, I used to be really big into gaming back when like Super Nintendo was big, and then I just died out of it. Like I don't know. Halo was the last thing. I know God of War 3 was the last game I actually played, like sat down and played. So I'm more like the mobile app, like, oh yeah, I'll play something for 10-15 minutes, and it's perfect for me because I can turn it on, walk around and go. But your level is like, you want like campaigns, you want depth, you want more out of your games.
Massive complexity.
Yeah, you want way like you were like, for me, I'm okay with a 15-minute thing on YouTube, and you want Lord of the Rings trilogy, and you want like behind the scenes commentary, yada.
He wants Lord of the Rings trilogy with the fanboys. He wants to play with other people. He doesn't want like a whole engrossing story and a large amount of complexity for himself. He needs other people to keep him going. That element of somebody else can do something is what's going to keep him interested. I'm the complete opposite. I would be more than happy to play a game if I never knew anybody else played it. I don't give a fuck about playing with people, which makes me playing World of Warcraft absolutely ironic as hell. But I don't raid. I don't dungeon. I don't do that shit.
You just do your own thing.
You will never catch me yelling Leroy Jenkins. It will not happen. It's just I'm gonna
make that my new goal to make you yell that.
That's kind of weird. Funny because like the only reason
I've done it at home like 6 times.
Can you edit that out? That's pretty weird.
No, that's gonna be our new drop.
But no, I don't want to play with other people at all. If I play games, I play for me. He wants to play with it. He likes that challenge. He likes that engrossment.
To me, like video games are an investment, and I like to get some sort of return on my investment. So like one of the games that I thought looked good for like a story campaign, and this is going to be probably old now, but it was like one of the last titles to come out before the new Xbox. I think it was like The Last of Us. And everybody talked about how great the storyline and all this stuff was.
Well, The Last of Us actually was a big title for the PS4.
And I was like, wow, that looks really good. But I'd never play it because I would feel like if it takes me 30 hours to beat the game, once it's over, I can't take that 30 hours and apply it to anything else. Like it's like a wasted 30 hours. I learned like Klingon, right? Like I spent all this time learning Klingon. And then if nobody else spoke it, it's like, great, now I know how to speak this fucking language.
See, I don't look at it like that. I look at it like I'm watching a really long movie, like playing the Batman series or Mass Effect, where they're really long games that have really rich stories that can go multiple directions. It's kind of like playing a movie. You're playing like an 8-hour, 10-hour movie.
That's how I look at them too. You know my perspective when we play the movie game, because I'm just like, I think most movies suck, are terrible. Like, I'm just not into fucking... It's so passive, right? It's so just, let me just sit here and kind of... I feel like a zombie, you know? I feel like, I'm just sitting here, like, watching colors and storyline. And, you know, when people made fun of Avatar and they're like, oh, it's just...
Pocahontas.
It's Pocahontas, or it's...
Fern
Gully. And you go like, yeah, that's right. Because the thing is, there's no new stories. There's no new stories. They've all been told, for the most part. There's little twists and turns on stuff. Every once in a while, there'll be a great story that is actually new, and I'll say, that was a fucking great movie.
But it's still a rehash. Like, that's a whole creativity thing. All creativity is taking two ideas and putting them together in a new way.
You say that? I would like to see Rain Man as an anime.
Rain Man?
Yeah.
Why?
Why
not?
Just watch the movie.
That would be the worst anime. That'd be the worst anime ever.
No way.
That idea was so what the fuck. We're all like, wait, what?
Like, one of my favorite animes, and it's not because I'm into anime, is Ghost in the Shell. Because it's so thought-provoking of its time. You know, as a kid, when I was watching this anime that was drawn in the 80s about, like, where's the line between humans... Like, basically your soul, your consciousness. Did you guys ever see that movie?
Yeah.
It's basically The Matrix.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
The premise is that there's two police officers.
I don't watch anime. Get out of here.
There's these two police officers.
You're talking to a guy with a DBZ?
Of course you do,
I have a
because you
DBZ.
love...
Fuck yeah. I like that weird shit.
There's these two police officers,
Evangelions.
and it's in the future. And, like, as they go throughout their civic duties... They put themselves at risk, and they might, like, one gets his arm blown off, right? But they have the technology to replace it with, like, a robotic arm that looks relatively human. And then, you know, over time, they lose a leg, and then this, or you take a couple of bullet shots, and then you got a robot thing. And then so you catch in at this point where they're almost entirely robot. And it's
basically RoboCop.
They're basically like RoboCops, and they're just having conversations. They're like, which of this is me still? You know, like, I've replaced so much of this stuff. Like, when did I lose myself? And then did I ever exist, right, in the first place? And they've drawn this basically this stage where they can push these questions where they make sense in this one particular thing. So I really like that movie because I'm like, oh, I've never seen a story that tried to make you think about what you, like the whole existential crisis thing, right? We're like, where are you? Do you exist? Does free will exist? Like
And
that type of stuff.
This is a good point. This is a good moment to point out that they are making a live action Ghost in the Shell movie.
I did hear about that,
and there is a lot of kerfuffle about
it. Never turns out well.
Well, ScarJo's in it.
Doesn't matter. It never turns out well.
Who's that?
Scarlett Johansson.
Oh shit! Now I'm definitely out. What the fuck? I mean, look, wait, hold on a second. Do we think here that Scarlett Johansson has like amazing acting chops? No. Were you guys on board with Scarlett Johansson's
Let's say she's
ability?
Middle of the pack. There's definitely worse.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying she's horrible, but she's not like the upper echelon. So yeah,
who would be the upper echelon?
She's not Judi Dench or
Meryl Streep.
Okay, those are older people who are younger.
Anne Hathaway.
Oh,
you're going to tell me she's bad? You're going to tell me she's bad actor?
They're on the same level.
Not a good actress.
Same level.
No, I would say Anne Hathaway's a cut above Scarlett Johansson.
No, I would say actually one step below. Maybe even a couple.
What?
Anne Hathaway's not that good.
Fuck off. Get out of here.
What about
bullshit.
the chick that the Mockingjay chick? What's that one?
Jennifer Lawrence?
You don't think she's a good actress?
She's
played some ranged stuff.
I feel like she's where she got forced into being typecast into the strong woman role. And when she breaks out of that, she does a great job.
I think so too.
She totally
What was
is.
the one with Christian Bale and Amy Adams? Was that who it was?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah, it's like the 70s flick.
Yeah.
What
about
Bradley Cooper?
The girl, you guys all saw Inception?
Yeah.
Okay, so the wife, where she's saying,
she's in the third.
I feel
Batman.
like the reason I don't
Marion Cotillard or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know her name because whenever I see a movie, she sells me that she's that character. Every movie that I've seen, like I'm like, I don't recognize her. Right, like she convinces me that she's whatever that person that she's playing.
I always get hot ethnic vibe from her. That's all it is. Every time she's the hot ethnic girl.
Yeah, she is. Definitely.
That's what she was in Batman.
Batman.
Sure.
That's what she is in. Well, okay. Actually, in Inception, she's kind of not. She's just the wife.
She's just
the wife. But that scene where she's trying to convince him, like I go like, oh, this chick can act.
Yeah.
I always think Leonardo DiCaprio is like always a top notch because it's like whenever he's trying to express that whatever it is. What was it, like the island? With that one where he's insane.
Yeah.
And the guy, that plays the Bruce Banner guy.
Island of Dr. Moreau?
No.
Oh, Shutter
Island.
Shutter Island.
Thank you.
Yeah, like I think both those dudes are really good actors. The guy that was his doctor, right? Plus Leonardo DiCaprio's character.
I don't think Leo's like what was the
when
Aviator
he goes to
where
the
he played
that last scene where he's like
Howard Hughes
seeing his children that have been drowned
you didn't think
in
he
the
was
lake.
Good in The Aviator? Get out of here.
I'm sorry. I mean, do you want me to bring up Titanic? It's a movie I still to this day haven't seen.
I haven't seen that either.
I'm not gonna.
You haven't seen that movie?
Probably the only two people in this world.
Actually,
Seriously?
the chick that who's the chick in Titanic?
Kate Winslet.
She's
a really good actress.
She's really good.
For
She's
sure.
damn good.
She's
Yeah.
a damn good actress.
I don't really know.
Did you see Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind?
That's her?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Yeah,
Probably
okay.
one
I'm on
of
board now.
like maybe 2 or 3 movies that's tolerable by Jim Carrey, in my opinion.
Tolerable? Come on.
I'm not a Jim Carrey fan.
You're not a Jim
that
Carrey
whole
fan?
wacky thing just
That slapstick.
You're like
man.
him and like
Yeah.
what
What
the heck?
about
But
the Truman
I do
Show?
love
when that
Liar
came
Liar.
out? That's not.
I
The
love that
Truman
movie.
Show, the concept was good, but I hated the way he played it out.
Yeah, that's how I felt too. I was like, damn, they could have put somebody else in, and this would have been like a quintessential Hallmark movie.
Yeah, it would have been a hallmark of cinema. It really would.
Yeah, it would have been. But he's just Jim Carrey can't not be Jim Carrey. It's so hard for him to not be that on-stage comedian, just like.
Well, it's so. I feel like on some
exactly
part of that too. That was a good one. I feel like on some part of that too is because when you get famous in Hollywood, people see you as that. Like whenever I try to watch Will Ferrell and he does a non-serious role, he'll say a line. I'm like, ha! I'll immediately knee-jerk laugh. I'm like, oh wait, that wasn't funny because. I don't know. It's really hard for people to break out of that typecast. I thought he did a good job in Eternal Sunshine and Truman Show. Just my.
I'm not saying those aren't good movies.
Yeah,
and I
but
think those
they
were
could have
good.
been cast better.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think they were good movies. Jim Carrey did fine in them. It could anything. You could always try to imagine how the grass
There's
could be
one
green.
role
Sure.
I think he did that he didn't act like Jim Carrey, and that was in Kick-Ass 2.
He was in Kick-Ass too.
Yeah.
What about the number 23? Did you see that?
Oh, that looked like a.
He is not Jim Carrey in that.
Hold on.
That looks
give me a record. Give me a record stop. Yeah, I think we need that on the soundboard. Fucking
that
Did
looked
you see the Cole versus Cole Twitter battle thing?
No.
There's the Cole Kardashian versus the Cole from Kick-Ass. You guys didn't see that?
No.
The Kardashian chick tried to post this stuff with pictures. Okay, I can't remember her name. The cute blonde little Cole girl, the Kick-Ass girl. I'm just going to call her the Kick-Ass girl. Chloe. Is that her name?
Chloe Moretz something.
Is that how you say it? Chloe? All right, whatever.
It? Yeah.
It fucking that
You're
shit
officially
looks
the
weird.
worst person with names.
I am, dude.
the first for the thing. Whatever. It doesn't
It's
matter.
like
No, it's not even that. He
like,
just makes up he sees the name and just makes it up.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
much.
close.
I
It's
just go,
close.
these letters should be doing this.
Chloe Grace Moretz.
I do have
Like Khloe Kardashian also.
I do have slight to severe dyslexia, so like the L and the O, they look
I get
like
people
opposite.
mixed up. That's how backwards. It
No, I
is.
never get people mixed up. Never people.
But Hit Girl from Kick-Ass.
Yeah, Hit Girl.
Chloe Moretz.
Okay, so she was in the like Bad Neighbors 2. Right. She's I don't know. She's
It's
in
not.
that
It's
movie.
just. It's the other Zac Efron
Didn't see it.
thing. Yeah,
But I know what you're talking about.
I didn't see the first one either.
I saw the
was-
first one.
first was okay.
It was watchable.
Yeah.
But so what's her name? That's Chloe. That's how you
Chloe.
pronounce it. Okay.
You
so
tell us,
Chloe
Jeff.
Kardashian. Whatever. The fat fucking sister. One of the fat sister Kardashians was like, look at Chloe and like something. Went a little rant and then showed a picture of her in her blue top bathing suit or red one or whatever. Well, yeah, it's red. And then there's a picture of a girl in a red top bathing suit and she's jumping on some guy and he's grabbing her, right? But his hands are like pulling her bathing suit open, so you see like her butthole and her vagina. And she's saying like, you know, just basically trying to put this bitch on blast. Like,
Why?
Look, here's this chick's asshole
Just
and her
because?
pussy, haha, you know, like all this stuff. And I don't know. I guess Hit Girl fucking said that the Kardashians are a fucking waste of space and they're a shitty family, you know, whatever it is, you know.
Sure.
And so now this chick's like attacking
Speaks
her
the truth.
and
We all agree.
tried to basically humiliate her by showing her naked on fucking Twitter, which a lot of people think is pretty fucking outrageous that you would just take a girl and then throw naked pictures of her because she legitimately thought like, haha, look, I got this bitch's asshole like on camera. And then Hit Girl just fucking destroys her like with response, call her trash, and shows pictures that this is from the movie, you stupid bitch, and shows that she's wearing actually different colored bottoms in that scene that don't match with this other chick that you've now humiliated for no reason. Right? Like you showed this chick's asshole and pussy to however X many number of millions of people for no fucking reason now. I don't know. I thought that was fucking hilarious.
I think it's funny you keep up with the Kardashians.
I don't. It was on Reddit. I saw it Reddit. Honestly, I was as guilty.
Yeah.
I thought it was like the fappening number 2. I was like, oh shit, Hit Girl naked? I got to see this shit.
That's teetering on pedophilia right there.
Yeah,
Well, was like, it
will
11
teeter.
when they
It will
filmed it.
teeter on pedophilia for at least another 10 years because she's always going to look like she's 12.
Yeah.
She has that like archetype body where she's going to look like she's 12, just like the chick from Harry Potter, right? What's
Emma
that?
Stone?
Emma Stone.
No,
No,
it's not Emma Stone.
Emma
it's
Watson.
Emma Watson. Sorry.
She's just eternally going to look like she's 12 until she's 30. And then she'll just look like a little gremlin.
But she is 30. That's
30? Yeah.
or
She's
Arya
about-
Stark. That's another
She'll
one.
look like a little kid forever.
Arya, God, I feel bad for Arya because she started out so cute, and then I thought she was just gonna. I'm hoping she's still just going through a little ugly duckling phase because she's not really.
She's like 19.
She's not blossoming out though. Yeah, I know. That's really sad because I like her. I just wanted to be prettier.
All right. I think that's a good
Anyways.
segue.
No,
to a
am I
movie
alone
golf
in this?
game.
Do you think that
Yes,
Arya?
you're alone.
Okay, hold on a second.
She looks too much like a little kid.
It's
dude.
kind of hard to tell from the Game of Thrones show too, because
Are you telling me that
She's
there
miserable.
are no
right?
19-year-olds
She's
that have
12
sex
to
appeal to you?
14.
Not her.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Just made my point. Thank you. We're done. We can move on now.
All right, let's play a game.
Jeff's happy we can. Okay, I'm gonna take over movie golf this time because Chad, you fucking suck.
Shut up, man. Fuck you.
Okay,
Fuck you.
Dude, for our Comic-Con themed podcast, you pick SNL stuff
And
for
I picked
movies.
From the
Hallmarks of
70s.
Come on, man. The jerk is fucking classic.
That's like if I'm watching the Food Network and you wanted to put up like Nazi documentaries. It's just it didn't fit at all. Dude.
No,
I'm
it's like
sorry.
going to the Food Network and they're going to tell you how to make oatmeal.
No,
basically.
No, it's just. I'm
All
sorry.
right,
dude.
so what's the theme
Okay,
today?
so
I just want it noted that he still hasn't seen Blues Brothers, so fuck off.
no. So I tried to pick something really hard, so that way the scores would be like, I don't know, like because I'm the one who sucks at this, and you guys are much better than me. So I'm gonna go with Christopher Nolan movies.
Sweet.
He's going to be the
I
director,
am
the
fucking
producer,
in.
or the writer. So we're gonna start off with the first one. I had no idea he was part of this. Memento is what he was part of. So a man creates a strange system to help him remember things so he can hunt for the murderer of his wife without his short-term memory loss being an obstacle.
This is the one. Is this the one where he has it all over his body?
Like he writes stuff on his body,
And
gets stuff
that
tattooed.
TV show kind of like ripped off. Like there's a TV show on NBC
Yeah.
where the girl had it tattooed all over her body.
Yeah, it's not it's not even in the same category in my opinion. Memento is classic fucking cinema. It's Guy
Who's
Pearce
going
at
first?
his best.
Well, Chad's talking, so let's start here, and we'll go counterclockwise.
Sure.
Do you have the? Can you help me out with the score? I can't math.
I got math. for
I
you.
have the dumb.
so much math.
I've been
So
infected
ready.
with the dumb Zika. No.
So Steven
right.
can't math and I can't read.
Yes. God.
And I can't movie, so whatever.
God. Thank God you're here, Rob. You keep us alive.
Yeah.
Someone's got to.
Seriously.
All right.
All
So-
right. So Memento.
Memento, it really is. It's a hallmark of Guy Pearce's career, if you could say that. This is the movie that made Guy Pearce, and nobody even knows who he is. Still,
Nope, don't know who that is.
Nope.
It's so sad because he actually did a great job in this movie, and he's a really good actor. I'm gonna say that the audiences gave this an 82.
Okay.
This is a really, I don't know if it's an original story, but the way that Christopher Nolan shot it, to me, was totally original and why I really enjoy the movie. Just the way it's shot, because if you would have tried to explain to me that you're going to watch a movie in reverse, I would have went, that doesn't even make sense. Like you
That's
can't
like some
you can't
Tarantino shit.
you can't watch a movie in reverse. It just doesn't even make sense. So
They did this with the Seinfeld episode, by the way.
they did it with a Seinfeld episode?
Yeah, they started with what happened, and they went like a week earlier, 2 months
Oh,
earlier.
I see.
And back, yeah,
Interesting. Was the Seinfeld thing first or after this?
after, I think.
Okay. Fantastic movie. I can't recommend this movie enough to people. I'm gonna say that this its audience score. I'm gonna go 88.
Okay.
So I haven't seen this movie. What? I know what it's about, but I haven't seen it. And so, how you guys went, I'm gonna go down a little bit, just because I know of this movie, but I don't know if a ton of people know of this movie.
But those that have seen it have liked it, I guarantee.
Sure. So
Like,
would
I feel like I lowball.
You're in competition with this guy. Tell him the movie's dog shit.
Would those people
I know what I'm doing.
go and review this? So I'm gonna go. I'll play it safe. I'll do an 80.
Okay.
I'm betting it's in the 90s, actually, because, like I said, a lot of people who watch it like this movie. I went lower because I think some people still wouldn't get it.
All right. Well, Memento, the tomato meter. That's the critic score, right? This is my first time ever being on Rotten Tomatoes website too, so this is weird.
The one
Tomato
on the
meter,
left.
the one on the left. That's the critic score.
Yeah.
Okay. Critics give this a 92. And you guys totally underestimated the audience. They give it a 94. They fucking
94?
love this movie.
Yeah.
So Memento kicks ass. Apparently,
I said 88, so I got scared. I didn't want to let my passion take over.
Exactly.
Like
I know I liked it, but I didn't think other people would like it. So
I purposely picked Christopher Nolan because his track record is amazing. So we'll see how that goes. Let me pick up the next one. Okay. Next one is going to be another huge movie that Christopher Nolan's known for, and that is The Dark Knight. When the menace known as the Joker wreaks havoc and chaos on the people of Gotham, the Caped Crusader, must come to terms with one of the great...
Sure you can read too?
No. I'm telling you, my living is drawing, dude. I fucking do words. The Caped Crusader...
You can emoji like a motherfucker.
I'm like, give shit, dude. The Caped Crusader must come to terms with one of the greatest psychological texts of his ability to fight injustice.
Everyone knows this movie.
Chad? The Dark Knight.
I'm going to go with a 92. This debate will rage on forever. Heath Ledger versus Jack Nicholson as the Joker. Nobody ever mentioned Cesar Romero, even though I think he was the original and he still holds the candle that everything else is measured up
He's
against.
Very different.
He's
all
campy.
of them are very different.
Yeah, they are, but really.
But what about, okay, you're going to throw in Jokers. What about
Leto?
Mark Hamill as the Joker?
Well, that's the thing. It's like,
animated Joker.
How much did he actually act as? Because we've all seen him reading it now.
I've never seen him read
creepy.
it, but
he's so good. Did you ever watch the Batman animated series?
Of course.
The one in the 90s?
I think...
Yeah, that's Mark Hamill. That's Luke Skywalker doing that.
For the cartoon?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for the cartoon, he's the best, Joker cartoon I could ever possibly imagine. I can't imagine anybody ever reduxing that. And, I would have to hear Mark Hamill's voice and caricature, portrayed through that anime character. The other thing, who's his, the one who goes, Puddin'? What's his little, girlfriend?
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be weird for the Suicide Squad movie to not hear that voice.
To hear the fact that they chose Margot Robbie or whatever for Harley Quinn, I'm just like, no, you needed a bitch with a Brooklyn accent. You needed,
I can see
that's the character. You're not the character. Yeah, she has blonde hair, but that's it.
There's they went for looks.
They just, I'm going to be super
who would've been
disappointed.
good?
Who?
Chloe Moretz.
Too young.
Yeah, I agree, but she would still would have been. She would have been good.
In the Arrow TV show, they had the actress who played Harley Quinn in the comics or in the animated show do her voice in the Arrow show. She was behind the wall; you didn't get to see her, but it was her same voice.
Oh,
so that
really?
continuity went to live action TV.
That's cool. Yeah, because she made that character up, basically.
They made it. The animated show made it who it is.
Yeah, but I'm from what I read, the animated show made her. The comic books adopted her.
Yeah,
because of the popularity of the little WB animated series that they had done, and so everything spawned from her. That character was in her mind, and she breathed her life into it and made that Harley Quinn character what it was.
This is what I'm scared of. That in Suicide Squad, Jared Leto is going to take
Leto.
It's pronounced DeGrasse.
Is it? The thing is I'll say Leto from now on. That he will basically emulate and bring to life as best you can Mark Hamill's animated series.
I think so.
And I mean, that's not necessarily going to be a bad thing, but it's not going to bring anything new to it either. Whereas Heath Ledger totally brought something new.
And it would be new for live action.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still think for the time, Heath Ledger, best Joker ever. And then for the time, Jack Nicholson, best Joker ever.
And Cesar Romero,
meh.
Don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. But I'm just saying for what...
Sad.
What the culture was like. Dark Knight, I'm going to give it a 94.
Did I score it?
Did
you? You said 92.
Okay, I'll take it.
I'm going 94.
All right.
So not only is this my favorite superhero movie, but this is potentially one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time. Maybe top 3.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
When I saw this in the theater... What's that?
That's saying a lot for the movie. That's high on the list.
Yeah.
So when you saw this,
I'm in agreement. It's definitely in my top 10.
Yeah, when I saw this movie in the theater, I was like, "Holy shit, that was the craziest movie I've ever seen." And Christopher Nolan does an awesome job. So I'm going to try to tamper my enthusiasm for it, but I'm going to give this a 90. I'm going to 97.
Okay. All right. So Dark Knight. One of you nailed it right on the money. The tomato meter, aka the critic score, gives it a 94. And the audiences, for one of the few times, agreed perfectly, and they gave it a 94 as well. So Jeff nailed it right in the money.
Oh, we didn't get to instate my new rule.
What's
that
that?
I wanted to make for the game. It's too late now. I definitely can't pull off the new rule.
What is it?
I was going to say, so moving forward, if you guys are in agreement, if somebody nails the score, right, they should get a 10-point reduction. So it'd be like a way to really get back into the game if you're behind. Like if you can nail...
Or just add 10 points to everybody else.
No, I don't think that's fair.
We can make the formula do that.
For the next,
Yeah.
we'll go to the next game.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Next one is, and you actually touched on it, Inception is the next one, 2010. Dom Cobb is a skilled thief, absolute best dangerous. Yeah, this is a really long description, not going to read that. It's basically a bank robbing dream movie is what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. All right, Chad. Inception. 2010.
I actually think whoever's in first should go first the last 2 times.
You want to do that?
Like we did last time. Because
Yeah.
it makes it more fair.
Okay.
So Jeff's in first with 6 points, Chad 14, and me at 17.
Close game. Okay, Jeff, you go first.
Inception, just another fantastic fucking movie. It just it's bizarrely thought out in how you would tell this story. It's has a lot of great. This movie is so much deeper than most people have any concept of. Honestly, there's so many Easter eggs in this movie that are like insane. Like the train scene when the train comes through the city and starts moving all the cars. Like the number on the train is like the same number as like what's on the door in the other guy's dream who's above them.
Oh,
and that number's in like another thing.
Oh, so the layers go through.
Yeah, and what's the character's name in the movie?
The main character?
Yeah.
I don't know. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay, well, whatever his name is, every character in the story that surrounds him is an acronym that spells his own name out perfectly.
Really?
Yeah. So the depth to this movie, because most people look at the last scene and they focus on the little spinning
Top.
Top.
The totem.
right, and they want to focus on that totem, and again, it's another misdirection because Christopher Nolan's misdirecting you this entire movie, and people think like, oh, that's how he would tell if he was still in the dream or not, is to spin that that's his totem, right? But it's not his totem. That's his wife's totem. That had no significance on whether he was still dreaming or not, whether he actually woke up. Right? That's his wife's totem. That last scene is really him letting go of his wife.
Sure.
Because he was so hung up on the fact that he had lost her, right? The whole movie, she's torturing him.
Yeah.
He can't forget her. He can't let her go. He feels responsible for her death. You could go on literally from almost an hour and a half of all these beautiful, subtle little misdirections throughout the movie. Yeah, there's actually full breakdowns on it on YouTube where people give speeches in front of a crowded audience, like breaking down all the beautiful nuances of this movie that most people will never see, even if they watch.
He wrote this too, didn't he?
Yeah, Christopher Nolan was a huge part of this movie. It's basically Christopher Nolan's
he
movie.
directed it, but he also wrote it.
I think so. Yeah.
This to me is like a near perfect movie. I would give it 100 out of 100. I'm going to play it safe and go 98.
Okay.
That's me playing it safe. I think I'm going 98.
Okay.
90.
90.
I've never seen it.
Oh,
blasphemy!
What? Fuck you! I've seen it. Fuck.
I was about to say, who hasn't seen this? Any student, any person who liked movies has seen this.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it a few times actually. And one of you talk about the Easter eggs. To me, one of the gems of this movie, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah,
So good.
Fantastic.
So
actor.
good. This
He
whole
really
cast is so good. Michael Caine is really good in it.
Tom
even
Hardy.
though just a little bit. Yeah.
such a Tom Hardy fan.
And what's her name? Ellen something or other. The
Ellen
architect.
Page.
Oh yeah, she's great. She's fantastic in it as well.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's good in it.
That little dyke.
Except for Leo. I just don't think Leo's that great of an actor. I really don't.
he's
Really,
in
that
this
scene
movie.
where he's screaming out to his wife, begging her not to jump. You weren't believing that? Hammy.
Sorry,
I thought that was really good.
That's true.
I think he
You're right.
oversells it.
It's bullshit because somebody else had been married for like 10 or 12 years. They'd be like, "Fucking jump, bitch."
Thank you. See?
Get the fuck out of here.
It's not even realistic.
Jesus Christ, what took you this long to fucking jump out there? Do it, pussy. You're not gonna do it.
You'd do that with your girlfriend now, wouldn't you?
Yeah, just jump.
Go ahead,
I
jump,
push
bitch.
her. I just push her. I'm like, hey, do you like black lights? Ah!
Like, all right, no, I'm going to give it a 90. I think a lot of people liked it. I think the special effects were good, the acting was good, the writing's good. It's layer upon layer upon layer. But I think also too that some people just want to go and be lightly entertained. They want to zombie out, and this required too much for some. I think it's and they were like, yeah, it was good, but it wasn't that good, you know.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, let me put it this way: if I took my parents to see it when it came out, or 15 years ago or whatever, they'd be like, yeah, it wasn't Kramer versus Kramer or whatever. So yeah, it's just going to be their era, you know.
That is a really deep pull.
Yeah, it's crazy. This movie's in color, right?
Damn.
I would also give this movie 100 out of 100. I think the only qualm I would say, and this is not something I would say, is it's a little long. It's a pretty lengthy movie.
I think The Dark Knight was too long, to be honest. I think it dragged a little bit.
I don't think that has any moment where it drags at all. It's going so fast. But this one, I think you touched on something, Chad, that this one's more, you have to be in the mood and have the capability of having an...
It's a cerebral movie.
Yeah, having
it's got depth.
Kind of like Interstellar. I don't know if Interstellar is another one.
It's on the list.
Yeah,
but
that one
for this one.
We'll talk about it when we get to it. But I feel like it's the same vein. You either loved it because you can kind of understand it and dig into it, or just totally went over your head and you thought this movie is way too long.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna give it. You give it a 90. I'm not gonna make up any ground.
I stole your thunder, didn't I?
Yeah, I'm gonna do. Well, I'll inch it out. I'm gonna do 92.
92.
Oh, what did you go with?
98.
Oh, okay.
98. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you guys in this. I love this movie because of the depth in it too. Did you know that the song that plays at the very end is that that very big, the queuing song is just that song slowed down incredibly? Dude, it's so fucking crazy.
Scissor.
So much.
The whole movie.
Yeah,
the whole movie is
slow it
one
down,
song
and they just
at different
slow,
speeds, depending on how deep they are.
I'm getting goosebumps thinking about how
dream.
fucking cool
I'm about
that
to go
is,
watch
dude.
this movie again.
It's so legit.
You can't even. You'd never. I don't know. Did you pull that together? The sound.
I had to go back and somebody told me that.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
I wasn't
there's
like, oh
no
my God,
way
it
I would
didn't
know
dawn
that.
on me. No.
I would have never even suspected, never been curious. Like, I would have never looked that deep into it. But when I was told that was going on, I was like, "What?
Fuck,
Just-
yeah, just
This movie's too deep."
Let's go to
This
the
is
next. Go
way
ahead and give us
too
the
deep.
scores, and let me go to the next one.
huh?
The next one.
Yeah, what's the scores?
Yeah, give us the score.
Okay, sorry. I just need to geek out on that for a second. Okay, so crazily, the critics only gave it an 86. What the fuck?
Those
Critics
dicks.
really hard to please.
Haters.
Seriously. And audience give it a 91.
Hey.
Not bad.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought critics would have gave it this a lot better, but I don't know.
I don't know.
know.
Leo, you think it's because of
He's
Leo? That's
not
why?
Come on, really? It took him this long to get a fucking award, dude.
Yeah, well, they definitely hate him.
Yeah,
They blackballed him for like 10 years.
should have won for the Aviator. He was
He should
so
have. He
good
should
in
have
The
won for
Aviator.
Basketball Diaries because that shit was fucking great.
I've never seen that. Don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
Okay, what's run down
All
the
right.
scores one last
So
time.
Jeff, you have 13, Chad 15, and I have 18.
Still a close game.
Nice.
So it's going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay. So last movie, Christopher Nolan, like Rob said, Interstellar, 2014, his latest one. I don't think he's done anything recently, but Interstellar, a team of a team of explorers travel through a wormhole in space in an attempt to ensure humanity's survival.
Really loved this movie. The icing, first of all, just loved the whole presence of the movie.
The
whole
science.
the whole tone.
So good.
The science is great for me, especially when you get towards the end, because it really kind of is. A lot of that aspect is totally up for interpretation, right? Because whatever, because I love Neil deGrasse.
Pronounced deGrasse.
Nobody knows,
ever.
right? Nobody knows what the fuck is going on in a black hole, right?
Sure.
And so that
just
gives you the freedom to kind of really just do with what you want. So you can't really get mad at the ending because no one can say shit. No one can be like, "That's not true," right?
Like, how do you know?
Nobody
Fuck off.
knows. Highly unlikely, but nobody knows, and it's fun. I loved the time dilation. Loved Matt Damon's fucking character in it. I didn't see that
asshole.
Yeah, just blew me away.
Because in the trailers,
He's
not to be seen at all.
Yeah.
And then Matt Damon.
But it's not even just him. It's what his character does, right? What his character does. You just I just did not expect that type of intensity to occur within the movie. I thought I was like already kind of experiencing whatever like the weather of the storm was going to be, and then all of a sudden it like kicked up like several levels. There's just so much good to talk about this movie. I love the wave scene where the wave is coming.
Oh, those mountains are like those are mountains.
Yeah. Yeah, that is hilarious. I love that, and again, because I love the science aspect of it, that there could be another celestial body so close that it's literally pulling the water, that high up. Just the time dilation, I really appreciated that aspect of it, even though I'm sure that it confused and angered a bunch of people because they just didn't understand it, right? They couldn't wrap... I think huge portions of this movie are too smart for the general public at large.
A lot of it, they go into stuff that you kind of have to at least have an idea of what they're talking about, even if you don't understand the science. Like when they're talking about gravity and how it slows down time. If you don't have that general concept when you see this, you're going to be... Because they don't explain it. They just move.
Nope.
Yeah,
they're like, just going through
They give you a blip and then they move on.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Love the little robot thing. Just everything. I liked the ship design. Right. Just everything kind of just felt authentic and not too Star Trek-y. Right. Like it just didn't.
Not distant future, more like reachable future.
Like I felt like this cool. This is like within striking distance of 100 years. Right. I could see and. Yeah, but so because of like the nature of the science aspects they went into, and they didn't bother to explain it, I'm gonna say, and I'm in the lead. I'm gonna say 90 to try to just screw over everybody.
Okay, all right, Chad.
Fuck you! He definitely screwed me on that one. No, all right. Going to the music thing, Hans Zimmer did the soundtrack to this.
I think so.
Nolan went to him and said, approach this without using the typical instruments you would for a score.
Wow. And
it lends that trippy element to it. You take that coupled with the fact that, everybody's second favorite physicist is Stephen Hawking. His foil is Kip Thorne, who was the main consultant on this flick. He was the man behind the graphics he was the man behind the science and the math and the physics for the graphics that were in the movie. They developed stuff based on what he came up with, off of what he thinks that black holes would do, off of what would be big gravitational forces happening. This was purely a scientific movie, even without explaining it.
And Matthew McConaughey kills it in this movie.
He does. And Matt Damon.
Props to him.
Matt Damon kills it. The chick that plays his daughter kills it too.
Murph.
Yeah. Murph.
Yeah.
Right. The only one who doesn't kill it is Anne Hathaway. When she's crying, I'm just like, shut up.
Yeah, she's all right.
Yeah, I just want to throw something.
Anne Hathaway, Catwoman hater.
Yeah.
You're just mad at her for Catwoman.
I don't think she's that great as Catwoman either.
No,
she was okay. Not. She was okay, but she wasn't great.
No, she was like a Splinter Cell type Catwoman. That's how I look at it. I think she's
all right. Anne Hathaway or Halle Berry. Or Michelle Pfeiffer.
You got Michelle Pfeiffer because that's my first that's how I always will imagine Catwoman.
I'll pay that. But no, there's a lot to this movie. I do feel that the general populace doesn't get a lot of it, and they still think it's an okay movie. But there will be points where it's just kind of like, oh, what's going on here? I don't really know. Oh, now there's cool shit happening. Oh, there's that funky robot again. Yeah,
it's also really long.
Yeah, it's a really long movie, and it does pull. The whole Tesseract scene is fucking insane. It's great.
You could like and which I did, you could pop a Vicodin, go watch this movie, and by the time you get out of this movie, you're sober. Like you can go in sober and come out sober. No one will know how fucked up you were.
But no, I'm gonna say 83. I think the genuine populace didn't really get into it that much.
Okay.
You totally screwed my score. I was going that low to win. So now it's
Well,
either
he went 90. What else could I do?
Well, because if I hit 83, then I could have won. And now I have to go 2 away from you.
Steven's having a little wet moment over here too now.
Usually I'm totally fucked. And now I've actually picked a good game for y'all.
So either way, so the only way I can win is go lower than you. So that's what I got to do. I got to do 80.
Okay.
That's a brutal score for this movie.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
Oh, he's deleting my score.
Make that a 95. You said 83, right, Chad?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead.
All right, ready? Interstellar, Christopher Nolan. Man, critics gave this a 71.
Ouch.
Like they weren't.
They're too dumb.
So
they're way too dumb. They don't know shit about science.
Now wait a minute. Kip Thorne did lose. I think he lost the bet to Stephen Hawking and owed him a year's worth of Playboy. I think that's what it was.
Nerd
I'll have
bet,
to double
of
check
course.
that. Yeah.
Anyway, and audience gave it an 85. Interesting trend. If you look at these 4 movies, Christopher Nolan to the audiences slowly gets worse over time. He got too smart for him. Memento was really high up there, and it gets lower and lower.
But nobody saw Memento. That's the thing. See, he to me, he's becoming an even better director.
I think so
and
too.
Other people are hearing about him, obviously, but then they're still the rest of the world hasn't caught up to his genius. That's the problem.
He's too deep.
It's taken time.
Deep.
Like Memento is in that line. It does take a lot to follow it to keep up with what's going on and how this is unfolding. And it took him. That's him honing his craft too.
Yeah. His overall average is A. Like solid A. That's where he's at. So
scores, I came in last with 23, and then the winner was
3?
Chad.
What?
With 17 points. Jeff had 18.
Oh wow!
How sad.
Yeah. Redemption.
So you can win with movies in this decade.
All right, let's wrap this up. You can find us at Covalence Cast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram,
and
Reddit.
Somewhere else. I don't know.
Somewhere else where no one else goes.
Your mom's bedroom.
Or at 4779 East. No.
All right.
Peace.